Are you wanting to get off the corporate treadmill? Are you finally ready to get off of autopilot and really start cashing in on your experience? If so, you are in the right place, because this is the Ducker Zone. Hello there, I'm Chris Ducker, and this is the Ducker Zone, the place where week by week I share tips, tactics, and strategies that help you build a powerful, profitable business based around your personal brand and those that you want to serve. And right here in episode number 1, we're kicking things off with a question I get asked all the time. And I think everyone asks themselves this at some point. They look at their mentors, their muses, whatever, and they wonder, how can I become an influencer too? How can I get that kind of attention on my product and my services? Everyone wants to get to that level where they've got a raving fan base and loads of people asking their advice. Influencers, you see, are at the level that they're at because they've worked their behinds off to offer the absolute best resources that you can find anywhere. These are people at the absolute top of their game, entrepreneurs who took very intentional, very focused, and very strategic steps to get to where they are today. And the best part is that becoming an influencer isn't some restricted access old boys club. If you're ready and willing to put in the effort, you too can become an influencer in your industry, in your space. And if you're really ready to get started, which I'm assuming you are because you're still watching the video, here are 3 quick tips that you can start using today to become an influencer in your space, even if it's a dark one. Tip number 1 is to find and leverage your personal brand statement. Now, your personal brand is the thing that you are that no one else is. So whatever you do, don't copy other influencers. Instead, be you. People want to do business with you. That's P2P, people to people. When you figured out what that personal brand statement actually is, try and come up with a catchy tagline to explain it. My good buddy Pat Flynn calls himself the crash test dummy of online business. It's memorable, it's different, and it's his. And yours should be all about you too. Number 2 is to serve, serve, serve. Any smart personal brand entrepreneur, any New York Times best-selling author, podcaster, blogger, speaker, they've all achieved influencer status. And almost all of them have one very common trait in mind with each other. They simply just keep showing up over and over and over again in the service of others. For years, they gave and gave and gave to everyone that they could meet. Sometimes it directly related to their business and their own goals. Sometimes it didn't. But the key was that they served, and they always served. The fact is that there's countless ways to serve your audience, both generously and without expectation. Your audience doesn't need to be big to get started. In fact, it might be as small as just a handful of friends and family members on your mailing list. It doesn't matter. If you share with them just as you share with a full auditorium of people, that's what you need to do all the time. Share what you've learned on your blog or your podcast. Give talks at community events. Reach out to other influencers that you admire and offer them help with a specific thing that only you can help them with, something that you're amazing at. If you keep your goal of service at the forefront of your mind and then watch what happens, I guarantee that your platform, your community, and your influence will start to grow. There's literally no ceiling on where your potential will be if you just focus on serving. Have I got the point across yet? Serve first, sell later. Here's the thing, wanting to become an influencer is like wanting 1 million downloads on your podcast. It's a great idea, but without actually knowing and committing the steps that go into reaching that goal, it's just another vanity metric at the end of the day. Instead of waking up each day with the goal of becoming an influencer, I want you to see that as a byproduct of being really amazing at what you do, anything can happen. Remember that leveraging your personal brand and serving others in effect, it will naturally get better and better with every single passing day. And let's face it, at the end of the day, that's just a much more recognizable and a more sustainable approach to long-term success. Now, if you enjoyed this episode of Ducker Zone, I'd love for you to share it on social, where I'm all about the Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Also, be sure to like and comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you next time right here on the Ducker Zone.